Hey, Toy and Collectible fans, this is Fly Guy for TekSushi.com, giving you a look at this Robocop, the 8-bit version from NECA. Now, if you remember Robocop, like I do, 1987 was a pretty optimal year for great movies, and one of them was Robocop when it came out. Great movie, and it inspired a game the year after for just about every console you can imagine around that time. But originally, the arcade version, a very 8-bit affair, was pretty cool, and I can remember playing that thing and shoving in my 10p's consistently, or quarters if you guys were in the US, whatever you may be. But it was a great game at the time, and when it got ported to home consoles, it was a big deal. So a bit of a nostalgia thing here. Now, NECA have been doing this for quite a few releases. They've done it for Predator. They've done it for what have they done it for? Jason, for Freddy. Quite a few horror movies and things like that. So it's a kind of thing they tend to do, which is a bit of a nostalgic pack back to looking at the video games, and then packing in a figure. It's kind of an excuse for a repaint, really, but it's still a cool thing. So I love this box that you get with it. It's got a kind of worn effect you can see there, which is kind of very similar to the original tape cassettes if you had the home game, or the Commodore 64 or Spectrum version, something like that, or maybe even NES, something like that. But even the Nintendo kind of like seal there is done, but it's recreated in an official NECA seal of quality. So really nice touches and some love going on in this packaging. The real toys there, all the kind of stuff. And some details in the back, even the MGM logo from the movie. And there's a quick sneak peek of the figure. So it is a repainted figure. It's a spring-loaded holster version of it. Comes with one blaster, so it doesn't come with the kind of interface control, the huge spike that goes in his hand. There's some text. If you want to freeze that, you can read that on screen. But that's pretty much the packaging. Very nice it is indeed. And so you can take the figure out there and display it if you want, as I've done here. Let me just focus on that. That would really help. So inside there's also some really nice text in this gatefold kind of sleeve there. If I can hold that correctly, you'll get to have a look at it. So there you go. Some other text. Really off the game, and some of the original kind of graphics like there from the game. So it's just a really good looking package overall, really well done. Even inside the box here, you can barely see it, but inside there is an 8-bit background, so you can actually take the Robocop character out there and place him on a bit of a kind of realistic game background drop. So it's really nice piece. This thing's only $20. Phenomenal purchase. So I was buying some Marvel Legends and some other stuff at DorksideToys.com, and I put it in the basket. So if you want to do the same, there's a link directly underneath the video to take you to Dorkside Toys where you can pick this up. They've got a few other Robocop stuff, bits and pieces on there which I've bought in the past as well. The spring-loaded holster, and I believe they've got the battle-damaged version of this guy too. So very cool figure. Here he is. Now this is a complete repaint of the original silver version, which we've reviewed on the channel there, so there's no real need to show you this in too much detail by comparison, but it's the same figure. Let me focus up and we'll give you a better look at the figure itself. So there we go. It's done in this very cool spray paint blue to recreate the video game, but with some very nice touches to make it look that 8-bit way, and it actually really does, especially when it's in the package. The accentuated mouth and the details there. So great figure underneath, but with a very cool repaint on top of it. Silver and the blue. You kind of have to see this thing in the flesh to really appreciate the game effect quality, but it's very good indeed. Now, as we've said in the other review, this thing has got great articulation on it, considering this guy's pretty limited. And we've had other versions reviewed on the channel. We've had the Figma version. We'll soon have the Hot Toys version to review too. So there's a lot of cool stuff around Robocop these days. Even some Funko stuff. I think I'm sure I saw that somewhere at Dorkside or somewhere else. But very cool. So nicely done. Nice little touches. It's subtle. It's not for everybody, I grant you, but it's got a nice effect to it, and I'm really digging it. So blaster's exactly the same, no difference to that at all, and again that locks into his side holster. I'm not going to show you this feature, it's a bit of a pain in the ass to get it open and closed, I find. There are instructions on NECA's website, and you'll see me fumbling around with it in the last review, but it does work, and if you really want to do it then you can, but I find it a bit of a gimmick, quite frankly. He does have good articulation. You'll see on this guy he's got a ball jointed head, so lots and lots of movement for him to move around. pretty much every which way but loose. The arms themselves are on ball joints, and they do have a fair bit of movement on them. So you can see the joints as I'm moving there, but that's as limited as much as you can get. And underneath you'll just see there's a little, the kind of ball joint hinge there. So you are limited, but that's a fair bit of movement. The arms are where the real limiting thing is. That's as high as the arm will go up. Locked in there by the armour, so not a great deal of movement. So that's pretty much it. That's it. He does have swivel forearms, and I'm just going to take this blaster out because it's going to fall off. Swivel forearms there, so movement there, but nothing else in the wrist. Up at the top of the torso, he's got a fair bit of movement there. Up at the top, I should say, it can move a little bit back and forth. Got a swivel waist too. And the same as those arms, you can just see them in behind those thighs there, kind of ball jointed slightly on these movable legs. There's a fair bit of movement on them, but again, you won't be able to move them too far. They're pretty kind of locked in to obviously keep the shape of Robocop there. There's a ball joint with a hinge on the knees there. You can see it, it will move. And you've got a fair bit of movement back there. That's as high as it goes. He can kick his leg up there. But the beautiful thing is on these ankles, and I love these little pivots there, is that works back and forth. That's beautifully done. No side-to-side movement, so it's just a kind of locked-in movement there. And he does have peg holes on the bottom, of which I also picked up some of those, and I've already reviewed them, the NECA stands, and they fit perfectly with Robocop if you want to put them on him. Good looking figure, like the paint job, but most often than not, it's the package. It's all about the packaging in this one for me. Really beautifully done, and I just love it. I think it's great. So there you go. Would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Robocop, enjoying the license, not liking it? Did you like the remake? If you really want to see more about the remake, we did a review not that long ago. I really liked it. I thought it was a great movie, particularly... oh, his name's escaping me now, from Harry Potter and Batman playing Jim Gordon. Oh, never mind. You know who I mean. So, good movie, that's for sure. But love to know your thoughts on this figure. Leave a comment below and let us know. Good, bad? Is a review good, bad? Either way, let us know what you think. And we shall see you for more TekSushi reviews coming up soon. Cheers.